Local horse racing fans got a bit of good news recently when Suffolk Downs added 2 days of live racing this weekend. But don't be fooled. While the Suffolk Downs site in Revere and East Boston definitely has a future, maybe one involving retail giant Amazon, the track itself apparently does not. Adam Riley has more.
There's an eerie feeling at Suffolk Downs these days. The mile-long track is still immaculately manicured. The grandstand still gleams. And from Wednesday to Sunday, patrons still place bets on races happening elsewhere. But the whole place is permeated by the knowledge that the end is near.
Beyond 2018, this is going to be a major mixed-use development.
Chip Tuttle is Suffolk Downs' chief operating officer. For years, he'd hoped to save the track, which was built in 1935, by adding a new casino. But when the state awarded the Boston area's lone casino license to Steve Wynn's Everett project in 2014, Tuttle reconciled himself to the inevitable.
Casino gambling has gone from 2 states, Nevada and New Jersey, to 39 or 40. And horse racing still does really, really well on the big days and the big weekends. Where it really is suffering is as a day-to-day gambling product. On Wednesday or Thursday during the week, it's just got greater competition.
Suffolk Downs did add 2 extra racing days this weekend for a total of 8 this year, after the Mass Gaming Commission shared some surplus cash from the state's Racehorse Development Fund. But long-term, Tuttle's new best-case scenario is a standalone simulcast betting parlor somewhere nearby.
We need some changes in the current simulcasting and racing laws to do that. A simulcast facility in what would be more like a modern sports bar, but set up for horse racing.
Meanwhile, the 161 acres where Suffolk Downs currently sits might be the hottest development spot in Massachusetts. The HYM Investment Group, known for projects like Brighton's Boston Landing, bought the parcel for a reported $155 million earlier this year. David Begelfert, the Massachusetts head of the Commercial Real Estate Development Association, says it was a smart investment.
Suffolk Downs is a phenomenal development opportunity. It's going to be a mixed-use development. It's going to have housing. It's going to have retail. It's going to have office. It'll probably have lab. It'll have all these kinds of things that will be built out over the next 10 years plus. It has mass transit. It's an ideal site.
Now, of course, there's fevered speculation that Amazon might select Boston for its second national headquarters and build a new 50,000-person campus right here. HYM declined our request for an interview. But this week, HYM Chief Thomas O'Brien urged the Revere City Council not to get its hopes too high.
That would be hopeful for our city because it would house 50,000 jobs.
Yeah. No promises on that, by the way. The way we think of this is it's kind of plan A and plan 1A. You know what I mean? So we're swinging for the fences, but we have a great plan. Whatever happens with that particular tenant.
O'Brien also said that whatever Amazon decides, HYM will develop the site quickly. Begelfert thinks they'll craft 2 plans simultaneously, one with Amazon and one without.
You go forward on the basis that you're not going to have Amazon there, but you obviously try to attract Amazon to it. If you get the gold ring, I think you'll be able to accommodate yourself.
But Begelfert also adds a note of caution.
So you're going to have a lot of other companies that want to be near the mothership, if you will. It's not just 50,000 jobs. We're talking about a lot more. If we don't plan in advance for over the next 10 to 15 years to change how we produce housing that can be much more affordable, how we can have skilled workers retrained or trained in the first place, we're going to have a serious problem.
For now, though, Amazon's local impact is totally hypothetical. The end of horse racing at Suffolk Downs is not.
Hey, Adam. How are you? Nice to see you. Can we start with the horse racing part? Are the Suffolk Downs people involved? They're behind this push I read about to open some horse racing facility in Central Mass.
This is
that their deal?
Massachusetts Horse Park. It'd be a racing track and also trail riding, equestrian
yes.
shows, a rehab home for old horses.
Yeah.
They are not involved with that. Chip Tuttle told me that he's spoken with the New England Horsemen's Benevolent and Protective Association. It's their project. He wishes them well, but he thinks it's really, really hard to make a go of it with a racing track in this day and age.
Let's go to the big one. October 19th is the date for submissions.
For submissions for the big Amazon
places that want Amazon
sweepstakes.
Does Boston have to include Suffolk Downs as one of their possible locations for Suffolk Downs to be in play? Meaning, could they independently?
They cannot go rogue and do it on their own. If Marty Walsh decided he wanted to propose doing it somewhere else, Revere and Suffolk Downs couldn't make their own
Can't
proposal.
do their own.
Amazon has said every municipality, they want one proposal. It can include multiple sites,
Oh, I didn't know
but they
that.
don't want people freelancing.
So Boston is likely to pick multiple possible locations.
My guess is they would hedge their bets by doing that. Now, how much they would talk up Suffolk Downs specifically, we'll see.
Hedge their bets, very good. I know you didn't
Thank
pick
you
up
very
on
much.
that, but trust me, it was excellent. Adam, good to see you. Adam Riley.